Hi, my name is Andrea and I'm a student from Harmony Public Schools.
In this experiment, I will examine the relationship between fatigue and grip strength by performing sustained and repetitive isometric contractions of the hand and forearm muscles. The materials that will be used are an EKG sensor to measure the electrical activity of the forearm muscles that shift with changes in grip strength, disposable EKG electrodes, a water bottle as a substitute for a hand dynamometer, and the Bernier Graphical Analysis website. After connecting my EKG sensor to a computer, I will apply the EKG electrodes on my forearm. I will place one electrode on the inside of my elbow, one on the inside of my wrist, and another electrode on the upper portion of my forearm. Next, I will connect the black sensor to the electrode on my inner elbow as a reference. I'll connect the green sensor on my upper forearm for measurement, and I will connect the red sensor on my inner wrist for measurement as well. My first trial will aim to measure continuous grip. In the Grip Strength and Muscle Fatigue PBL project, time and force have an inverse nonlinear relationship, meaning muscle fibers contract at a decreasing rate the longer maximum effort is exerted. However, the relationship sometimes isn't as steep due to a small window of muscle relaxation allowing muscle fibers to contract again, resulting in varying fatigue rates as seen in this graph. My grip remains strong at the beginning before decreasing over time at varying rates. Now, I will measure repetitive grip. Muscle fatigue leads to a noticeable decline in grip strength during either sustained or repetitive activity. One thing to note is that the data showed that repetitive gripping caused less fatigue than continuous gripping, which is likely due to brief recovery periods between contractions during this trial, otherwise known as muscle relaxation. Muscle fibers contract and aid with muscle stimulation and chemical processes such as calcium release, resulting in varying fatigue and grip strength rates as portrayed here. Inputting my repetitive grip data on a table reveals that my maximum force, or grip strength, appears to decrease sharply before gradually elevating. Inputting my continuous grip data on a table, however, reveals that maximum force, or grip strength, increases and decreases as well at varying rates. My ELA component is a newspaper detailing how grip strength and muscle fatigue are used across various perspectives, specifically within real-world situations, scientific studies, health, and recovery-related solutions. My social studies component is over how grip strength and muscle fatigue has been used over time to determine current and prospective health of patients. In its foundation, grip strength was a force needed to exert labor for daily survival. Consequently, muscle fatigue was the evolutionary mechanism to prevent overexertion. But throughout history, the meaning of grip strength and muscle fatigue combined and shifted to become a representation of health and advancing medicine in various aspects of life. Additionally, in my PBL project, time and force have an inverse nonlinear relationship, which represents the math principle. This means contraction occurs at a decreasing rate the longer effort is exerted, so the length of grip strength gradually builds to muscle fatigue. However, the relationship isn't as steep because of muscle relaxation, which later allows muscle fibers to contract again with the aid of nerve stimulation and chemical processes such as calcium release, which represents the science principle. Thanks for watching Harmony Public Schools.